What's up, traders? Will Compton here, and I wanted to do a trade review on a trade I did yesterday on Mattel on an earnings that came out for them. It's an absolutely beautiful trade. You're gonna love it, and you can use this same strategy in the future. Once you know it, you'll see it all over the place, especially with earnings season coming up. So let me transition over here so you can see my screen. This is what happened. First, let me show you my Twitter account. Here is where I alerted for this trade. I said Mattel's gapping up on an earnings beat on the top and bottom line at 6:40 a.m. April 23rd, 2021. So in the future, I'm gonna basically probably give you my opinion of what I'm looking for to do in the trade. And of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a professional. I'm just some day trader on YouTube. Obviously, investing is risky. Trade at your own risk. So Mattel had good earnings, and it gapped up pretty big. These are some big, if you look at the previous, bars, these are large bars. So, so let's go back to the chart. Okay, so this is what happened. This is the 5-minute chart. TD Ameritrade is doing some maintenance or something on this. It's messing up my charts. But here you see the gap up. The earnings report came out after the close of the bell on Thursday. So it gapped up significantly. And then it continued. And let's look at the trade. Well, first, okay. Here's the trade. But first, let's look at why this happened. Let me pull up. So here's the actual, the earnings. Mattel stock rallied late Thursday afternoon after the toy maker reported a narrower than expected quarterly loss and says that its sales surged 50%. Mattel said it lost $115 million or 33 cents a share in the first quarter, compared with a loss of $211 million or 61 cents a share in the year ago quarter. So it's losing less money than a year ago. Okay. So what I'm getting from that is that it wasn't like a super stellar earnings report. Like it's not gonna, at the opening pop and run higher and higher. I don't think the earnings report warrants, a higher price on the stock. I think it actually warrants a lower price on the stock. So let's look at what happened. Here's the opening. Ding, 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 ding. It popped. This is probably shorts getting squeezed. And so I put a starter position in. Somewhere in here, I basically sold short like 100 shares just as a starter, because if it, came down and then kept going back up, I would have just gotten out of my position and, had a tiny little loss and, moved on to the next trade. But since I was in short just a little 100 shares, I watched it go down, and then I'm watching it go down. And then when it popped, and then came down again. I think I put on another 500 shares right here. So I'm short like 600 or 650 shares right here. And then, okay, I just wrote it down. I'm not seeing any buyers come in, writing it down, down. Like I'm watching, the money come in. Nice. And on this bar, I saw this bar, and I covered probably half or a little bit more than half my position. I covered right here. And then it popped a little bit, and then it continued down, and then I covered the rest over here. I think it was on this bar I covered. So you can see I caught almost pretty much the entire move, and I'm still getting building my confidence. So, imagine if I had scaled in with, 5,000 shares right here. That would have been a big payday. But imagine if I scaled in, 5,000, or 5,000 shares right here, and then it pops on me, and then I'm losing $1,000, and I'm like, well, damn it, I gotta get out, down 1,000, and then it does exactly what I thought I was gonna do. So I've made that mistake before, and I see a lot of other people making it. Take a starter. You don't have to put your full position on like right away on a trade like this. This is a longer trade. Look, this played out over, so 840 is when I covered. So 8:30 to 8:40. So it was like an hour. It was like an hour trade. So on something like this is not just like a scalp. You take a starter, even on the pop on the way up. Like if it popped, you could start in, short here. And if it popped, like you actually kind of want it to pop more, because then you can get a better price, and then you scale in when it pops more. And then when it, when it starts coming down, then you've got it made. So that was my reasoning for getting into this trade short. Let's go back let's look at the 5 minute. So it was either going to, I was looking really to fill this gap to here. I thought, it'll come down to here and then start to curl around. And that's why I covered right here, is because I saw this bar move way past that, and then it covered. So it actually filled a little more than the gap. So it filled the gap to here, and then it actually dipped a little bit lower, and then came back, and then settled basically where it should have been for the whole time, $20.88 or $21. It's not $23. So that was my strategy. I thought it was going to fill at least halfway the gap. It actually filled the gap and more, so that was cool for me. So then I put out a tweet. Here's where, oh yeah, so I was quartering a cover of the position. I think I had 1,000. Oh no, I had 1,300 shares, and I made $654 on it. Not too bad for an hour of watching a chart. And you see how simple, the reasoning is behind it. They had a good earnings report. They gapped up, but they're still losing a ton of money. So they didn't have like massive upside guidance. They didn't get, upgrade from, a bunch of analysts. So I thought it was going to fill the gap, and look at what happened. Man, I should have I should have sold 5,000 short over here, but it's a good trade. It's a good trade. And actually, AJ Trader actually also had this on his list too. So I was pretty confident. I should have been way more confident than I was, but I'm still learning. I'm still getting the hang of it. So, but I'm gonna start putting out these tweets on gappers and what my opinion is of what they might do. So look out for that on my Twitter. Follow me. It's investingalpha_. And so yeah, that is my $654 winning trade short on Mattel on their earnings. There's a ton more earnings coming up in the next couple of weeks, so this is a good play probably for the next couple of weeks. If you see us, stock gapping on earnings, but they're really not doing that well, they're more than likely going to fill some, if not all, of the gap. So look out for that. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you got some good information out of it. Hit that like button, follow me, and I'll see you next time. Happy trading.